Hi friends, in our time together today, I want us to talk about what we do with those pesky repeated notes. Like in the lilting banshee, it starts right off playing the E and then two A's. And in the Irish styles of playing, we're supposed to use a variety of ornamentation and not just tongue every note. Although I've watched great players who open the lilting banshee just by tonguing that in a straight way. Adds a different flavor. And that's what ornaments do, isn't it? So traditional wisdom tells us that when you face two repeated notes that you use an ornament like a cut to differentiate between them. And that's simply how you do that. But traditional wisdom was never intended to be a straitjacket. Watch videos of excellent players. I know you do. I do. They, as I said, they will even tongue these notes now and then. They will do a wide variety of other things. And that's where we're going with this today. What options are available to you when you encounter these repeated notes, these phrases? How can you personalize that section of the music? What flavor can you add? Because that's what it's about. More than differentiating between the two repeated notes. With our ornamentation, we are expressing our version of the tune, our feel of the tune. So when we experience these two or three notes repeated, the ornament is not only how we differentiate, as I said, but it's how we express and personalize the tune. And that's really up to us. Sure, you and I can copy what someone else has done, and that's good. That is a way to learn. But it's not me playing it. It's not you playing it. We have to reach the point where we become comfortable in our own skin enough to decide what ornaments we want to use and what works in agreement with how we're expressing the tune. Happy dance tune, jumpy, march, or emotive, slow. You'll feel different ornaments do different things. If you've been with me for a while, you know that, as I said, I like to watch these other players play the tunes. People a lot better than I am with tons more experience. What I notice is the varying ways they differentiate between these notes, especially in these repeated note phrases. So again, the question at hand is, what do we do with those pesky repeated notes? Well, you grow enough that you can add your own flourish and flavor to the tune through them. So here are some things you could do. You can tongue them both. And I've heard a number of people do this on the start of just using the lilting banshee. And then it sort of sets almost a bouncy flavor to it. So you could tongue it. Tonguing is an ornament. You could cut. You could tap. You could slide. Okay? You could add some vibrato. You could do a roll. I really enjoy throwing the roll in now and then, especially on some of those middle notes. Again, a lot depends on the flavor of the tune and what I'm trying to express. You could add a trill. It's fun on some notes. Trust me. You could add a cran if it's a bottom D. I didn't play that well. Oh well. You can, let's see if I'm, that's most of the major ones. your options are almost endless because you can also mix and match. I have thrown a cut, gone into a roll. I've thrown a cut and hit some vibrato on those more emotive tunes. I've particularly on an emotive tune, you slide into it and vibrato gracefully out of it. On some of those happy tunes that don't feel like they ever end because you're supposed to transition right into another set piece, I will repeat the ending couple of notes in a very staccato way. And so that's why I say your options are almost limitless when facing these pesky repeated notes. So the question becomes not what ornament should I use to differentiate between these notes. That's the question we ask when we are first learning to play. And if you're first learning to play, then that's still your question. As we grow even just a teeny bit, the question transitions from what ornament do I use to differentiate between the notes? The question then becomes, what am I expressing as I play this tune, and what ornament supports that flavor that I'm offering of this tune? So, as I said, mix and match, go with a straight, simple ornamentation. Your options are all over the map. And don't fall into a rut. Just because I used a cut on that first double doesn't mean I'm trapped into using a cut the rest of the tune. It's important to mix and match because each phrase of a tune, like the lyrics of a tune, each phrase says something different. Mix and match your ornamentation throughout the tune so that each phrase has a slightly nuanced flavor to it of what you intend the tune should say. I believe we're growing enough that it's time for us to have this conversation so that you are not trapped in a straitjacket by the standard ornamentation. The idea of ornamentation is the flavor and the articulation of a tune. It's not a law. So, how should you treat those pesky repeated notes? I hope you hear me saying, as I do sometimes, it all depends. It all depends on what you're able to do. It all depends on what you're seeking to convey as you play and express the tune. It all depends on whether you're playing with someone else or playing by yourself. So, I want me to be free to use ornamentation as embellishments, and these pesky repeated notes are opportunities. I have even at times taken a repeated note and I've started a run down and back up or up and back down, and instead of a repeated note with an ornament, what I'm doing with them is I'm taking those notes, that repeated note, and I'm lightening them with a like 16th note run up and down. You are only limited by what your fingers and imagination can do as we express these tunes. I hope this encouragement helps, my friends. Practice, 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 so that when you're faced with opportunities like these repeated notes, you can do something that's so fun and that you just take delight in and helps you just deliver a beautiful flavor of the tune you're playing. Until next time, my friends, this is Scott Shade. Happy low D whistling.